want to thank you all for coming. We've got representatives from the artist and his family and friends. We've got the media here. We've got our community partners and area leaders, as well as some of the people that helped install this. So thank you all for coming. This process began nearly 3 years ago when several community partners, including the city, Create Portage County, and the Stevens Point Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, began discussing a vision for the entrance to the city at a newly constructed traffic circle. The call was made for designs, and after tedious deliberations, we began working with Mr. Kokonowski to design pieces that really represented our community. What we dedicate today is the result of hundreds of hours and dozens of people, a real community effort. The sculpture represents our history, with references to the lumber industry in the Pinecones and the tall tree directing you into our city. It reflects our strong Polish population with the way the Pinecones were designed after the Polish paper cutting art of Vichananki. Boleslav has been trying to get me to say that correctly. Vichananki. It speaks to our motto, the city of wonderful water, with flowing rivers depicted at the base. The Corten steel speaks to our strength as a community. For over 160 years, Stevens Point has stood tall, weathering the challenges and remaining a vigilant, welcoming beacon for all who find us. As I mentioned, this was a real community effort, and I would first like to introduce some of those partners. First, Boleslaw Kokonowski and his family, all amazing visionaries and extraordinary craftsmen. Boleslaw, his wife Anna, their sons Vincent, August, and Valerius put in over 1,600 hours into this creation that you see before you. We were all here for the installation yesterday, and I got to tell you, the smiles of their satisfaction was undeniable. Boleslaw?
Thank you, Mayor Mike, for everything. Your help in steering us and everything in the right direction. Thank you very much. I'd like to say that 100 years ago, my great uncle was a blacksmith, a partnership in Poland. My father, Boleslaw Sr., became a very good blacksmith, started his journeymanship. Now it's on. Boleslaw Sr. worked in Uncle Hippolyt Kochanowski's blacksmith shop as a journeyman, was rounded up by the Germans as labor. His blacksmithing skills really held him in Germany during the war. After the war, he met my mom. Immigrating to Chicago, to America, ending up in Chicago in the large Polish community, he became lead blacksmith for the Chicago Transit Authority. And that's a very big deal, good position. Later on, I worked professionally with him in the Blacksmith Boilermakers Union, learning the craft from my father, passing it on. I'm third generation. My sons, Vincent, August, Valerius. Val, put your hand up. Vincent, where are you? There's Vincent over there. Vincent is my chief mechanical officer in the shop. Very talented, they all are. August is a dedicated artist. They all are artists. Any blacksmith that is of note, or any blacksmith that's good at his work, is an artist instinctively. They were brought up since they were little in the shop. I built the sandbox right next to the shop so I could see them, and my wife could see them all day long. And they'd run into the shop and learn the craft from age 4 or 5 on up. So anyway, some of the grandchildren are here. My sons represent the 4th generation. I just mentioned Hippolyt, my dad. I'm 3rd generation. The sons are 4th, and perhaps there's 5th generation in the wings. Some of them, I don't know. So, as far as this design here, Portage County Create, Greg Wright and people there, and Sarah Brish from the Visitors Bureau, and other people in the mayor's office, they kind of, once I was asked to design out of the call to artist, I worked on designs that symbolized things that I thought were relevant to the city of Stevens Point, and they kind of said, maybe not quite, and I came back with other drawings and designs. They sort of said things like, I think you're getting warmer. And when this drawing, a rendition of this was presented, I wish I could remember the words, but basically, you're hot, you got it. It was good. So this here is, it's bending, upward aiming, forward pointing, evocative. Stevens Point is evocative, and this symbolizes all of that. As the mayor said, the evergreen tree symbolizes the gateway to the pineries, and it's a draw to the city now, not just the gateway to the lumber mills and so forth of the past, and the lumber camps, and the river, City of Wonderful Water. It symbolizes the City of Wonderful Water, which really started out when in the 1800s they were getting the water from the Wisconsin River, which was industrial in a sense and kind of polluted. They transferred over to what became Iverson Park, Plover River, and started getting the water there. And Jules Iverson, who was a successful businessman on Main Street, funded the money for that land, bought the land from the family that had it and gave it to the city. They made wells there, and from the 1920s, they came up with the idea of City of Wonderful Water. That's where that came from. And Stevens Point has entered national competitions, and in 2010 was designated city of the best water in the country from those cities that participated. Across the way on the south quadrant are the Pinecones. The Pinecones, I was having a little bit of trouble with coming up ideas for that quadrant. My dear wife Anna over there, Anna, she came up with some ideas of, say, why don't you do something more akin to our Polish heritage? And she basically gave me the idea of wycinanki, which is Polish paper cutout art. So it's a tribute to the large Polish immigration, the large Polish community that was here and is here yet, the descendants. And when you look at the wycinanki, you can see the effect like if it were cut out from paper, but it's cut out from very heavy steel, and Corten steel is. I'll describe the materials now. This here, the triangular sections are, the letters of triangular sections are made out of what's known as Corten steel. Cor for corrosion resistance, and ten for tensile strength. That's Corten. It's stronger than steel, and it's corrosion resistance. It really doesn't rust. It develops a patina just like the bronze develops a patina. And then it locks and holds and gets wonderful tones and striations. There will be some bleeding, and that'll be part of the art. This colored concrete that I asked the city to do is going to look very nice as it marries with some of that bleeding. And with the water crest out of stainless steel, that'll beam the light in a different fashion. That'll be accents. So there'll be lighting on this in the future. I look forward to helping the city with designing it the right way, and it's going to be very exciting to see this lit at night. As the cars slow down here, they'll see it very well because it's right in that last view before they turn on the roundabout. So this is on the Green Circle Trail. Going to have a lot of foot traffic in the future. The same with wycinanki on the other side. I'd like to thank the city crews that worked on this. The cement work is very accurate to my plan drawings and just wonderful work. They helped in a lot of phases, blocking off the street, getting the crane here, Bushman crane and everything to unload it and put it on here. Very nice and accurate work. The mayor in his office, very helpful and cordial and all. A lot of help along the way. Quite a few people, of course, too many for me to begin to thank, but I'm trying to thank everybody that helped, and there's a lot of help. So my sons, thank you very much for the work you're putting up with this guy. You are all artists in your own right and very good. So So if you have any questions, then please ask me and we'll talk about it, and I can give you some one-on-one and a little bit extra things of that nature. I don't want to take this too long.
Thank you. Now it's too loud. We have some sample plaques. The real plaques are getting made, but if you want to go behind the sculpture after we're done here and take a look at it, you can see a little bit of Boleslaw and his family's thoughts behind the two pieces of art. Creativity is a part of our culture, and it's been the root of many things that make Stevens Point such a thriving, accepting, and vibrant community. The passionate people that create Portage County have had a lot to do with that over the past few years, drawing together people with a vision or an idea. They support, encourage, and promote the left side of our brains. They understand how art, music, and placemaking have a direct impact on jobs and the economy. And right now I'd like to introduce the Executive Director of Create Portage County, Greg Wright, to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Thanks for all coming out today. We're so excited to see this installed. As Boleslav mentioned, we were part of the call process, and we put a call out initially and got back some submissions that were good, but not quite what we were looking for. But Boleslav had thrown a submission in, and I had worked with him in the past. He had worked with us on a Phantom Gallery project we had done before, and so we reached out to him and said, are you willing to work with us to come up with the concept we're really looking for? One of the things we had seen happen in a lot of communities is the trend of using art for signage. So it really started with the Hollywood sign, obviously, and then the I Love NY in New York, but we've seen more and more communities ask artists to put the name of their community in art in some way. So we asked Boleslav if he could come up with a concept that would do that, and this is what he did. And it's amazing. And when we saw it on paper first, we knew it was amazing. Now that we're seeing it on a t-shirt, that's even cooler. And then we saw it transition from paper to a small maquette to a full wood version of it and to this. And each stage has gotten more and more impressive. Boleslav is an incredible craftsman who has done so much work in the community, and that's something we're excited about with this particular project, is the capacity it has to show people other art he's done in the community, not just sculptures like this, but also the railings and gates and other work that he's done that's being used in churches and in cemeteries and other places around the community. It also can point people to the pointer dog on campus, the panther at Spash, that is Augie's work there too. And so again, we see 4 generations of blacksmiths in our community doing incredible work like that, and that's what we were really excited to feature. We've seen his work pop up in places like Egg Harbor and other communities around the state. We wanted something bold and visionary for our own community to celebrate him and his work here, and we're really excited to see that move forward. So excited to see this actually here. It's an amazing process to work through. The one thing I would strongly encourage you to do is, if you have not taken time to hear about what goes into this, how these different joints are made, how this is aged, how it's all done, that's the fun part, is actually hearing the work behind it, and they are more than happy to share that story, and it's an incredible story to hear. So thank you so much for coming today. I hope you love this. Tell your friends to come out and take pictures with it, and then bike the rest of the way to the rest of the sculpture park, which is just down the Green Circle Trail.
Thank you, Greg. When we have it in place, we're going to be adding lighting, and it's going to be programmable LED lighting. That's not in yet, but it will be installed soon. So when Spash wins another championship, or the UW wins another championship, we can highlight that by having a red background or purple and gold lights on it. Or Pacelli, when they have it, we'll do the red, or holiday lights, whatever it happens to be. It gives us that opportunity. Tourism is vital to almost every community. And the executive director of our Convention and Visitors Bureau, Sarah Brish, once said that tourism is the first date to a community. I'm guessing she wasn't the first person to coin that phrase, but it stuck with me, so she gets the credit. We take that very seriously here. We want someone's experience, whether it's the first time or just the most recent, to be the very best that they've ever had. When someone visits us, We want them to feel welcome, safe, and comfortable. That's just who we are, and I think it shows when you consider the fact that we've been setting records for tourism for the last several years. Sarah isn't able to be here with us today, but Board Chairman Greg DeKroger is here to speak a little bit about the impact of tourism in our community. Greg?
Thank you, Mike. On behalf of the Stevens Point Area Visitor and Convention Bureau, thanks for being here, and we are very excited to be a part of this project. Congratulations to all the artists. Awesome job, and we're really excited and proud to be a part of this. We are hopeful that this will be somewhat like the love sign in Philadelphia, be identified with, or maybe even the sign that welcomes tourists to Las Vegas, the famous welcome sign there. We hope that this will become part of that as well, as thousands of tourists come to our community. They all are going to find out what we already know, that it's great to live, work, and have fun in our community, and this is definitely part of some of that fun that we have. We hope that you, as mentioned previously, get your picture taken here and put that on social media. And when visitors come here, we hope that they get their picture taken here. When you have friends and family come to town, come out here, take some pictures, and post those on social media so that we can show everyone else how great our community is. So again, congratulations and thank you to everyone.
Hey, sir. As you can see, we've had many people who are passionate about the Stevens Point community. And I would be remiss if I didn't point out a few others who have worked here behind the scenes. Our former Community Development Director, Michael Ostrowski, our current Community Development Director, Ryan Karnowski, Public Works Director, Scott Badoon, numerous city staff, including Lance Musak, Luke Kronstadt, who's here, Kenny Rozek, Dave Wojciech, who's here, Joe Skabinski, and many others. And our partners, like Century Insurance, Bushman Crane and Sign, Michael Moore with Engineered Representation, who's doing the programmable LED lights that will make this art glow, the Common Council and Plan Commission, who supported this project, and finally the citizens of Stevens Point, who joined our vision to create a welcome point in our community. Thank you all very much for coming. We will stick around, and if anybody has questions, I'm sure Boleslaw and his family would be happy to answer them. I could help if I need it, if needed. And if you want to take pictures, we encourage you to do so. Please be respectful of everyone else. Take a minute to grab your picture. Try and stay out of the frame, and we'll just take turns and try and be respectful of everybody's time so we can get our pictures in. Thank you all very much for coming, and have a great day.